G'day everyone, I'm AzureBlaze, and Tears of the Kingdom is somehow over 2 months old. It does not feel as if it has been that long, however, yeah, I feel I shall go over some of the things I think about the game now that it's been out for this amount of time, and yeah, and basically say where I'm up to and what I plan to keep doing with the game. Sort of to start with, I sort of want to preface by sort of saying the gameplay may not necessarily have anything to do with what I'm speaking about. This is a very laid back video, more in a sense. I've got a few notes of different things that I can probably talk about. However, yeah, whether or not it shows up in the gameplay or not, I don't know, probably not. Most likely, because I'll probably get on later, take a good 15 minutes of gameplay, and then chop it in and plop it on, basically, is what I'll probably would do. Anyway, yeah, I guess probably to start with is where I am up to in the game, and it's not as far as I probably would have expected to have been about 2 months ago when I started. However, in saying that, the main thing I've been doing is I have gone around and got all the towers now on the surface. However, I guess the next thing logically to do after that would be to go get all of the life fruit, I think they're called, in the depths. However, I don't know, I think the next thing I'm going to do probably is get all the dragon tears, sort of straight off the bat. I know where they all are, I've got the map and everything like that, taking screenshots, and yeah, I think that's probably the next thing I'm going to do. However, yeah, the main thing I've been doing is getting all the towers and basically hopping to every shrine that I see along the way and getting my stats up before I go on and do any of the really the main story missions, I guess. In saying that, yeah, I guess that there really isn't much else to say. I haven't really done much else. I popped around to a few stables, I guess, on my time around, been to the villages every now and then. Yeah, it's pretty simple. What I sort of think about, I guess, the dragon tears, I've done three of them, I think, 3 or 4 of them, I can't remember. And the story, I think personally the story is a vast improvement already over how Breath of the Wild sort of was. With Breath of the Wild, yeah, it was sort of done in the same way, where instead of memories now it's dragon tears in Tears of the Kingdom. However, I think there is a lot more to this story than there was for Breath of the Wild. I'm not saying that Breath of the Wild is bad. I quite enjoyed Breath of the Wild's story. However, a lot of it were Zelda's not happy about something. Link's following behind her. She doesn't like that Link's following behind her. Whereas the first dragon tier in this game, it's sort of yes, thrown straight into it. Zelda meets the founders of Hyrule and all that sort of thing. I think that's much more of a, not necessarily more of an interesting story, however more of a, I guess, compelling story, in my opinion at least. I guess it sort of depends on how you feel about it. And yeah, I think overall the story, I've been really, really enjoying it. As for, I guess, the new areas, the depths and the sky, I haven't found myself coming back to that often. I don't know, I guess I sort of thought I would back when the game released, maybe, I don't know. And yeah, no, I barely ever am there. I barely in the sky. I'm almost always on the surface. And I guess the depths, on the other hand, I've been down there a fair few times. I guess I haven't done that much down there, however, but I understand there is a lot more to do down there than what I have done. I think the most I have done is battle Master Koga for the first time and got the on the auto build ability. And yeah, therefore, when it comes to the depths in the sky, I guess I don't really have that much to say about them. I really like the depths and the way it's done. I think that's a neat twist on what's sort of above and everything like that. However, the sky, to me at least thus far, feels almost like the Skyward Sword Islands, where they're little islands in the sky that don't have that much on them. I'd imagine there's definitely bigger ones that I can get to. However, for the ones I have been to, it's sort of what it is at the moment. And then yeah, as I was saying, for the depths, it is really fun. I like how all the mechanics work down the depths. You don't get your hearts back if you get touched by this stuff. all that sort of thing. I like the life fruit lights up everything and like can heal you and everything like that. I think it's all really, really fun, and it makes for a really good twist on the stuff from the surface. Talking about the auto build ability that I got in the depths, I think that is really neat. I like that it doesn't necessarily, like, you can build things even if you don't have the components. However, I would like it if, like, it doesn't use the components at all that you have on you. And I would prefer it if the auto build ability, it sort of automatically use components that you had stored on you already to build it, rather than using only Zonite. And then, like, if there is any things left over that you don't have on you, then it can use Zonite on that. And, like, I guess it would use a lot less Zonite and sort of adds more to collecting more of the, like, the different parts for them. Otherwise though, yeah, I do like the auto build ability. However, I'm not a huge fan of how it only uses Zonite, especially sort of, I guess, if you get into a mindset where you want to keep creating this very specific vehicle that you have in the did I say vehicle? I meant vehicle. If I said vehicle, I can't remember. Yeah, if you want to create this very specific vehicle, and then like you go into the auto build, and then you go to build it, and it uses your Zonite, although you may have all the parts already to use it, which is like you either choose to use up your Zonite or you use the parts that you have. And if you want to do the auto build thing to save time, you're wasting Zonite for parts that you have. There's no point to have those parts if you're only going to use the auto build thing. It's I like sort of building piece by piece a lot of the time. However, like, there's some points where I'm like, I need a car to get along this place. I don't want to worry about like having to sit there and make it for ages. I'll use the auto build ability. Oh, I've run out of Zonite. Like, it's like I have all the parts in my inventory. Please use them. That's all I'm sort of thinking about it. I guess after that tangent, the enemies. And I've got Endgleox down here on my notes. The enemies I've been finding somewhat a little bit more challenging this time around than in Breath of the Wild. In saying that, in Breath of the Wild I was on master mode most of the time, and I guess they're probably about the same. However, I think the enemy encounters have, I think, heightened in quality overall. I've been quite enjoying whenever I have to battle an enemy. And the Endgleox part of my note means I have not defeated a single Gleeok. I went to try battle one and it didn't work out, and ever since then I've been basically avoiding them because they're scary. Yeah, no, the Gleeoks are very, very scary. However, yeah, otherwise, enemies, I think it's been pretty good with them. Sort of, I guess, one last thing before my overall thoughts is something kind of small, however a little bit frustrating to me, is I've started to do a huge sigh almost every time that I find a Korok who's lost from his friend. There's way too many of them, I feel. And it's like, I walk up and there's a Korok, and he's like, help, I need to get to my friend, and the friend's all the way over there, even though I wanted to go in the other direction. Sometimes you can get lucky, and I guess a lot of the time I guess I have been kind of lucky and it's in the direction I want to go. However, sometimes I guess, yeah, you may not be lucky and it's in the opposite direction, and it's kind of a oh well type thing. However, like, I want to get the Korok set, and I want to get the Korok back to his friend because it makes me feel bad if I don't. However, like, there's a lot of them, and it feels very repetitive. Like, every time. Like, I think I did one, walked over a couple of hills, and found another one to do, and I was like, okay. I'm pretty sure that's what happened sort of back probably about a month or a month and a half ago. It's, I don't know, like, it doesn't worry me too much because they are, I guess, rarer when you consider how many different Koroks there are. However, like, I feel like they're very frequent. That or I've been unlucky. I don't know. Yeah, other than that, however, my overall thoughts, I am quite enjoying this game. I think it is definitely a big step up from Breath of the Wild personally. And sort of what I plan to do is, yeah, go after all the tiers now. And then I guess go and try get all the life fruit in the depths before I move on to sort of the main things, going and finding all the characters and all that sort of thing. I think, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. However, in saying that, yeah, I don't think there's much else for me to say. I sort of made this video because I sort of thought it's sort of good timing, and it's a good video to put out while I not necessarily brainstorm. I have an idea for my next week video, and I need not necessarily like to get footage for it and all that sort of thing. I'm gonna do that over the time that I was going to use it for to put out this week, and I thought, but Tears of the Kingdom's been out for a couple of months now. I can do sort of like not necessarily a final thoughts. I might do that at one point. However, like yeah, like some thoughts on where I'm up to. I guess let the small amount of people who are worried know about where I am up to, and yeah. However, yeah, I believe that is all from me. I hope everyone enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I shall be back in the next one. Cheers, everyone.